Someone hit someone! Someone throw a chair! Throw a green shell! Bite someone's face off! Someone blink! Blink!
Andy, are you yelling at paintings again?
That was for reference, and no. I'm watching this tennis match, but it's so boring!
Maybe you're just not into it enough. Perhaps some company would make this more entertaining for you.
Doubtful.
Ugh! Someone hit someone! Someone throw a chair! Throw a green shell! Someone bite someone's face off! Someone blink! Just blink!
See my point?
It can't be helped, Andy. Tennis isn't some hyper-violent sport that allows you the luxury of attacking your opponent. Tennis is about getting the ball across the net, not about hitting it so hard it breaks your opponent's racket.
But what if it was?
But it's not.
But what if it was?
But it's not. Oh, the review!
Have you ever watched a sport and thought, why isn't this more violent? And then imagined all the ways to create a more violent and fighting game-like atmosphere? In baseball, don't you wish you could just throw explosives on the field to trip up on-field players? In soccer, don't you wish you could just hip-check opponents into electric fences? In dodgeball, don't you wish... Well, that one's already kind of violent.
Nintendo has a penchant for taking regularly boring sports and bringing the Nintendo spin to them, or allowing other companies such as Camelot and Namco Bandai to do it for them. In many cases, this creates a more fun and inclusive gaming experience that involves many modes, many characters, and will draw in players of all ages and skill levels.
And in other cases, we get Ultra Smash. But Nintendo intends to redeem themselves, or rather let Camelot redeem themselves, with Mario Tennis Aces.
Yes, another sport where the only entertaining thing is the grunts the players make as they hit the ball to each other. Mario Tennis Aces is another entry in the Mario Tennis series that includes a few features we haven't seen in a Mario Tennis game in a while.
The first being the Adventure Mode, basically a story mode, in which you must travel across a strange land to rescue Luigi from an evil tennis racket. As you try to reach each of the 5 bosses of this mode, there are other minigames and characters you can battle against first. Certain battles and minigames will earn you rackets which act as your lives in tennis matches. More on that later.
Adventure Mode will attempt to teach you something new, whether it be the dodge mechanics, how to block a zone shot, or how to prepare you for any obstacles in your path. Certain levels in this game are based almost completely around specific game mechanics, which is very obvious in some cases, but not as much in others.
This is a fun addition to the single-player modes that seem rather sparse in this game. Nintendo really made a big push for the online multiplayer aspect of this game, and it shows. The only other offline single-player mode is a tournament against computers. There are 3 cups to compete in, Mushroom, Fire Flower, and Star, with increasing difficulty as you progress through them.
In Mario Tennis games past, modes like this would yield a trophy and what is called a star character. These characters would have slightly higher stats and may give a slight edge over those you play locally with.
However, after beating the Star Cup with any character, the only prize you will get is a small crown underneath the character icon of the character you beat it with.
After completing our rigorous and mind-scarring entrance exam,
I'm gonna have nightmares forever!
we have decided to accept you into our illustrious program for great gamers!
Yeah!
To congratulate you on completing our extremely difficult entrance exam, we award you with this piece of paper and the words on it. Have a great day.
Well, that's bullshit! Yep, that's it. A crown. You can skip to the Star Cup with every character and beat it each time, but you will only get what equates to a good job sticker under each character.
The decision to forego star characters aside, the only other offline modes are a free play, where you can play with friends, and swing mode, which turns on the motion controls of the Joy-Con and allows you to swing it like a tennis racket. I personally prefer a controller, but swing mode is still fun if you'd rather stand to do things a simple button press already does.
If that seems like a very small amount of things to do offline, that's because it is! Most of the development effort definitely went into the online, which is, big surprise, a big tournament. You compete in 2-game 1-set matches against players across the world. This was the main focus of the demo tournament they held a few weeks ago and was a prelude to what we can expect in the online mode.
There are 2 types of tournaments. The first includes all the extra mechanics of Aces, and the second one is Simple Mode, which will exclude the energy meter, which we will tap on later, and will play like previous Mario Tennis installments. Each win in an online tournament will earn you a number of points. These points will add up quickly as you gather wins, and can be used to earn prizes during tournament seasons. During the demo, points were used to earn extra characters to play with. In the July tournament, you'll earn costumes and Koopa Troopa as a playable character. In August, the tournament will yield you Blooper as a playable character. While playing online against other people can sometimes be frustrating, it may all be worth it just to see our little squid friend swim around the stage and act like his life is over each time he misses a rally. He's just so friggin' adorable.
While Aces can reinvigorate the nostalgia for previous Mario Tennis games, it also adds some new layers to the mix. As you've probably noticed in the footage we've been using, there's this little chargeable meter up here. That's your energy meter and will allow you to do things called zone shots and special shots. It also allows you to slow down time because why not?
A zone shot happens when you stand in this star spot that appears sometimes and press the R button. You will jump into the air and take a first-person view of the character you're playing. You can then aim the ball at the other side of the court. This mechanic is extremely helpful in the adventure mode where the AI eventually hits an impossible level and zone shots become a must.
A special shot occurs after the energy meter is full and you press the L button. You'll get a short cutscene showing the character charging up their shot. Then you'll get a first-person view again to aim your shot. This can be activated at any time the ball is on your side of the court. It can even be activated while you're serving, which makes for an explosive beginning to a rally.
If you have any energy at all in the meter, you can press R at any time to slow down time. This will allow you to catch up the balls that got away, to help time any blocks that you have to make, and to plan your next move. Be careful though, your energy will begin to fade fast.
There's one more handy feature of zone and special shots. Each racket any player has comes with a life meter, or a durability meter, whatever you want to call it. The sections of the bar are how many poorly blocked zone shots it can take before it breaks. Yes, breaks. You can break your opponent's tennis racket. This can be done with successive zone shots that your opponent doesn't block at the perfect time, or by a single special shot that is also not blocked at the perfect time.
If you break every racket your opponent has, they lose automatically. This can happen in online tournaments, with friends, against computers, and to you if you're not careful. So get your trigger finger ready and slow down that time because you're going to need some picture-perfect timing.
I'm personally not a fan of the energy meter mechanic, but it can certainly end tennis matches much faster than a rally. To earn energy for your meter, you must charge your shots. To charge them, simply press and hold any of the return buttons or double tap them. Be sure not to double tap X, however, because this will activate your special run across the court to get the ball animation, which, if you time it perfectly, you'll get lots of energy as a reward.
With all these new ways to attack your opponent and demoralize them by breaking their racket, the only defense you have truly is timing. Perfect timing. If you can't land a perfect block, you will suffer damage to your racket or a lost match. It's not the best way to win, but sometimes it's the only way to win.
There's one more aspect of Mario Tennis that it seems was completely neglected. The local multiplayer. Free mode is what they called it. There must have been such a heavy focus on the online multiplayer that the local multiplayer fell by the wayside. There are very limited options and no minigames to speak of. Why?
Free mode in Mario Tennis Aces offers you two modes to play in, Quick and Extended. Quick will pit you in a singles or doubles match in which you must get 6 points first, or 2 more than your opponent if it comes to a tie. Extended is a single set of 2 games. There is no way to change the length of these options, no way to add extra games, sets, or matches. This makes sense in online modes with friends, as a match with several sets gets boring and no one's connection can sustain something so long.
You also cannot pick the court you play on. I mean, there's this weird way of making the randomizer system pick the course you want by removing the ones you don't want to play on from the randomizer. Not only are stages in the randomizer, so are hazards and the type of ground that is on the court. All of these things can be changed in the randomizer, but again, why not just let us pick the place we go, if we want hazards or not, and how fair the ground is.
Minigames are a staple to Mario spin-off games, whether they be party games, tennis games, baseball games, or even kart games. Minigames bring a fun new element to each of these games, a way to extend your play beyond what we expect from each game. This being the case, why does Aces lack minigames? Limited multiplayer options are something we can swallow, weird, but we'll deal. A focus on online multiplayer among everything else in the game is another issue we can get past, but eliminating minigames completely? Why?
Perhaps all of the effort they were going to put into the minigames in Aces went into the minigames in Super Mario Party.
Then October can't come soon enough.
I agree.
Mario Tennis Aces is a game that put a lot of its effort into the online tournament mode and not much else. It lacks a lot of options from previous Mario Tennis games and things that have even become standards for online games as a whole, such as the ability to view the stats of your opponents before the end of a game. Seriously, you should be able to see the stats of opponents you're about to face online so you can figure out if they're the best Waluigi ever or an enemy worthy of your skill.
Most of my first round matches the last few days have been against Waluigis or Bowser Jr.'s with tens of thousands of points who continue to stomp me. I've resigned to only playing during the character earning tournaments. This would have made minigames all the more important because at least I would have some off-the-cuff fun mode to look forward to. Instead, it's limited to multiplayer mode, a hard-as-balls boom-boom battle, or tournament mode against computers.
It's not a bad game, but one that should have spread its effort out a little bit. It would have been nice to see a minigame or an extra mode that didn't focus so much on the tennis aspect that we could play with friends.
Aces is a game that stopped after developing the tennis gameplay. It's refined and a lot of time went into it like a turkey for a Thanksgiving meal. However, not much was done after the tennis aspect was finished. If you want to make a proper meal for your players, you have to include appetizers, side dishes, and barbecue sauce to dump on everything. Without any of that, you have a lovely turkey, but this will not entice every player or onlooker. But it does make it easy for completionists because there's so little to unlock.
Just like real tennis!
Look at that, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Why not tell us what you think of Mario Tennis Aces in the comments below? Then when you're done being awesome for watching, be more awesome by liking and sharing the video and hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another one of our videos. Thank you again for watching, and see you guys next time.